Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to be here. My name is Juliet.
And my name is Cindy.
Today we are going to report about how does the police of the culture, assimilation of the principle, ethnic extermination of the inner region. Now close your eye for 3 seconds. Imagine that you're waking up tomorrow, that your language are forbidden, and your family's traditional are called virus, and your favorite song you cannot sing, and worst of all, there are the camera in your home looking at you every movement, and it is not a movie, it's the real reality that now happening in Xinjiang. Have you ever heard that Xinjiang is slowly disappearing because of the persuasion of the Chinese government? To give some background, let's look at the Uyghur people, and a vibrant ethnic group standing at the crossroads of the ancient world. Okay, the key points are history, population, and culture. Okay, historically, the Uyghur are famous from swimming in the water around the Taklama's desert. And the unique location makes them a vital part of the Silk Road, serving as the critical bridge of the trade and the culture from east to the west. And today the Uyghur are Choctaw-speaking groups with a global population of 13 million. And culturally, the faith and the language define who they are. Most Uyghurs are Muslim. They speak their Uyghur language, traditionally written in a beautiful Arabic script. Their history located make them a true cornerstone of Eurasian culture. However, some report behind the state that which typically the history of traditional asylum and tragedy, dismantling this culture is taking place. The tragedy behind with the re-education camps, millions of Uyghurs have been locked away behind the barbed wire. The government called the training, but its reality is the brainwashing. Inside, people are forced to give up their faith and their language. They are told that culture is a virus that must be killed. Outside the camp, the life is not even better. In the cotton factory and the field, many of the forced into forced labor. They work without the choice to fuel global supply chains. At the same time, high-tech camera and big data which watch their every move. And most heartbreaking attack on the future. They are taking the children away from their parents and put into the boarding school to forget their roots. Even worse, many women are forced into the civilization to stop their population from growing up. Human rights groups call the culture genocide.
随时可以开始。那你讲。 From one perspective, the EU views the protection of cultural and religious identities as a defense of global human rights standards. From the perspective of Germany, this is a matter of historical responsibility based on the lessons of impeached persecutions during the Second World War. They see upsetting such actions as a moral duty. From the perspective of US, this is a matter of ethical change. They address forced laborers to enter global
supply
chains, follow fair trade standards, and respect human dignity.
Okay. Next page.
From the perspective of Russians, sovereignty is the most important. They believe every nation has the right to handle their own affairs without foreign interference. From the perspective of Central Asia, stability is the foundation for
development.
Without a stable society, economic growth is impossible.
Today I'm staying for EU and Germany.
And I'm Russia.
Alright. According to the data, According to the data, we see the system challenge of regional freedom in Xinjiang. In 2017 to 2023, over 12% of the cultural landmark has been abandoned. We believe that human rights have no abundance. Economic growth should not cause universal virus.
From our perspective, sovereignty is the core. Every nation has the right to govern itself. Our data shows the Uyghur populations grow 3 million to 12 million. Life expectancy rose from 30 to 72 years. We reject any interference in domestic affairs.
Look at this check. High-pressure governments may charity explanation. True stability comes from diversity and inclusion, not absolute order. We call from the transparent monitoring and international observer.
You speak of risks, but we face threats. Look at this security chart. Before these measures, there are many terrorist attacks. Now there have been 0 incidents for 7 years. A stable Xinjiang is our security first line. We need cooperations, not observers.
We cannot ignore ethnic risk in supply chain. Data shows up to 20% of important textile could involve forced labor. We could rather pay more for clean supply chains than comparison on the human rights bottom line.
This is economic by Germany. For us, development is the only key. Xinjiang GDP growth 7.5% every year over the past decade. We values our strategic partnership with China. This is about lifting people out of poverty, not ideology.
conclusion, the EU and Germany will define the values. Prosperity without human rights is not stable.
And Russia will defend sovereignty and stability. Without sovereignty, a nation has no right to pursue anything. First, people are losing their culture. SDGs 4 says schools should respect all cultures. But here, the government stop people from using their own language. School only teach one language. This is just learning. This is not just learning. This is erase where people come from. Second, we see systemic inequality. Well, SDGs 10 is about treating everyone the same. Some people face different strangers because of their birth. They are watching high-tech tours and lost their freedoms. This is not just unfair, it violates basic human rights. Finally, we see the loss of justice. SDGs 16 aims for the fair trial for all. However, we see people detained for their belief without a clear law. When the law becomes a tool of control instead of shield, it destroys human dignity.
While the EU focus on the human rights and Russian focus on the national safety, and EU representatives remind us if the price of the money is losing the people's salute, can the peace ever be right? And it is true that safety is important, but human dignity must also be protected. The Russian representative posed a hard reality. Without safety and good economic, can human rights even exist? Both sides are that the region needs peace. However, they disagree about how to reach it. The solution may not lie at either extreme, but in how we define transparency. Can we find a way of meet the national safety need while showing the world that people are treating well behind the wall? These lead to the very important point. The future of Xinjiang should not just be a game of number. It must return to the actual life and choice of the 13 million people living there. In conclusion, we must look at the balance between power and freedom. Overall, the most important takeaway is that the salute of people is more important than overall the state. Okay, and now we leave an open-ending question. Okay, how can the international community and the separation national build a transparent nationalism that ensure human dignity while still respecting regional stability and national boundaries? Okay, that's the end of our report. Thank you for listening and watching.
为什么叫你一直叫你来优格？优格好像太可以。可以吗？整个都被笑出来了，好笑。
你讲他不念 rush， 好像 rush。
谢谢，要重录的，要重录。
整段重念。好的。development。没关系，继续。
等一下重来。
没关系，
没关系。